This particular route, up Mount Evans, now known as Mount Blue Sky, begins at Guanella Pass. At about a mile up the path, you break off through the willows as shown here and go around that ridge. Once you're around that ridge, the trail continues relatively flat and quite wet. It stays flat for a while, but eventually you will reach a very steep gully shown here. Once you're to the top of this gully, the trail flattens out somewhat, although continues to ascend gradually to the summit of Mount Blue Sky.
Nope. This feels like a Mario Kart track. Did you feel how it feels?
It sure did. As they say, on the Mount Bierstadt Trail, you get to climb it with 500 of your closest friends. We're going to break off from this in just a little while. We just passed over that creek, and in just a little while here, we will break off into the willows. There is a slightly discernible trail, but I will show you where that occurs here in just a little while. We'll come to an opening. Right here, you'll see this trail go off to the left. And that is where you go to climb Mount Evans from Guanella Pass. Let's say goodbye to the crowds. Peace and quiet, solitude, and majesty. I'm not going to give too much detail on this part of the trail. I walked back on this trail on the Bierstadt Sawtooth hike. I did Mount Bierstadt and then did the traverse over to Sawtooth last fall, and took this way back here to make the loop. So just show some nice video through here, but it's pretty self-explanatory. Most of the way there's discernible trail, and I will show the route here in little bits and pieces, but not overly huge in the detail. Leave it all behind.
Because I had asparagus.
Leave it all behind. Leave it all behind.
you talking about the people?
Yes, Casting Crowns reference.
I caught that.
Come to the well. Okay, so notorious through this section of willows is that it does get muddy. They do suggest stay to the right, stay to the right of the creek, and there is a trail here, but really what we're going for is the side of this hill, right through there. So you're basically just going to be kind of weaving through the willows, follow the trail as best as you can, and kind of aim for this hillside, and we're going to wrap around that hill and then go right up this gully right up here. So here we go. So you can see almost to our hill that we walk around. We've been pretty much hugging this hill the whole time, but that's where the trail goes. So it's been going pretty well. We have wet feet for sure, mostly from walking through some taller grass, and that is a lot of dew on the grass this morning. So yeah, the shoes are wet. We have encountered some mud, but not terrible. So here we go, blasting through the willows. Fun, fun, fun. And we're climbing up, really doing our first elevation gain of the day. Yellow Indian paintbrushes. Is that what those are? Anyway, we are ascending a little bit onto that hill now. We are on that hill that we were looking at earlier. We pretty much wrapped around that hill now. And there's the gully.
Woohoo!
With the sawtooth looming right above it.
I'm saving this one for you.
Are you really?
Yes.
Thank you.
Tell me when you want it.
I made some yummy crepes. I rolled them up and I made peanut butter crepes and sugar and cinnamon crepes.
You made crepes?
I did.
Wow.
Shocking, isn't it?
I appreciate you being very patient with me right now.
It's okay.
I'm really thinking that I put something in a different spot than I thought I did. And I'm feeling very silly. Yep, I put it in a different spot.
A V8. A V8 Energy.
I'm feeling dehydrated.
Affectionately known as Vate.
Vate. Yeah, Nick says that. Is that what you came up with that?
Me and Leah today. Isn't that cool? Would you like me to put that back?
I would rather dislocate my shoulder. Bluebells, taco shells, eensy, icy over. I like coffee, I like tea, I like the boys and the boys like me. What, you don't jump rope?
We're laughing now, people, because
We're gonna cry up there.
we're gonna do all of our weapon right there
Yeah.
on that thing. Look at, there's even a slight glaze of ice over top of this. It froze here last night.
Yeah, it did.
There's our gully.
I have to poop. I never have to poop. I should probably.
There's Bierstadt.
Don't go down that path.
There's the sawtooth. Oh yeah. We've had very little, if any, elevation gain yet. There's some elevation gain there, people. I'll tell you what it is at the end. I'm gonna check my elevation at the bottom. I'm gonna check my elevation at the top. I'll bet you that's at least 1,000 feet gain right there. Anyway, that'll be fun.
What should my famous last words be before I get a wet foot?
Well done. I did it, but back there, I did it also, but I did it a different way. I put my whole foot down into mud. So we're not out of the mud yet. And I do remember this from last year. We got a really soggy area coming up at the bottom there. So that'll be fun.
What's Grandpa's favorite flowers?
Yeah, here's my dad's favorite flower. Favorite wildflower anyway. Pardon the mouthful of peanut butter crepe.
That's gross, man.
I just really got a lot of, like, practically had a foot full of water a little bit ago. Well,
I laughed so hard at him that day.
Leah laughed at me, but that's okay. It was funny. Anyway, she took a leap of faith. Her foot went in that hole. Her foot came out, but her shoe did not come out.
We just retrieved it. You should have seen it.
She had to, I mean, that thing was suctioned in there.
I thought it was getting swept away beneath the
You know
mud.
what? You should like
Rinse it out?
rinse it out in a river up here or something. Ah, this.
Well, can you grab my water bottle? I'm gonna go forward a little bit.
Okay. Oh, poor girl. She's a trooper though.
Wring it out. I don't want to get too soaked.
Why not? It already is. We're choosing clean wet
over
dirty wet. I'm kind of contemplating the same right now for my left foot. Yeah, because once it's gonna dry. Once we get up top and it dries, it will be a clean. It'll be clean. It's not gonna. You're not gonna have like dirt in between your toes.
Yeah.
Aye.
Give me a chance here just to do my stuff really fast.
No problem.
I'll be very fast.
But we have reached the bottom, people. The trail is over there. You always kind of keep your eye on that trail over there the whole way down, and just kind of aim to that. And you come across it. And really, the trail is easy to follow. The trouble is that the trail is a river. So, actually, this is not a river. Or this is not a trail, this is an actual river. She's now rinsing out her sock. Look at the gunk that comes out of that. Isn't that something? This is... Anyway, that's where we go up next. Our elevation is 11,700 feet is our elevation. Okay, so here we go. We've got about 2 miles to go, roughly 2.25 miles or so, and we've got about 2,500 feet of elevation gain to go. So our nice easy hike of 4.5 miles with 3,000 feet of elevation gain has now turned into a difficult hike of 2 miles with 2,500 feet of elevation gain. So there you go. We're probably going to get about 1,000 right there. I want to remember to look at elevation when I get to the top of the gully. But we're at 11.7 at the bottom. So there you go. The time has come. We have reached the gully. Let's send it.
Calm down.
Nothing but up from here. The nature walk has concluded.
Well, a lovely nature walk it was.
Stuff is about to get real. Wow, 12.2. That's 500 feet so far. And we still have a ways to go. I don't think we're halfway yet. So we'll see. Making good progress though. Boy, this is tough. Leah's kicking my butt, but I am keeping moving. Except right now, when I can fake a rest and say, I just had to take a video.
Hey Dad. Dad. Pack rocks before you stack bottom through here. They're really loose.
Okay. We're at about 12.6, so 900 feet from the valley below. Hard work, man, but it's awesome. It's going really well. Lee's doing great. A pike just ran right by me and I missed it on video. He's now on a rock, so you'll just have to believe me. But I'm gonna keep, oh yeah, there he goes. Maybe you caught him there. He went from there to there. He knows all the underground roads. That's cool. Okay, gotta keep going to keep this legit. There's the top, well, top of the gully. And we are at 12,800 feet. So far, 1,100 feet. We'll see what the final tally is at the top of the gully. Not quite to the top. Very close. Oh, man. Oh, wow. Leah beat me, for sure. I gotta say, I'm pretty pleased to have made it this far without taking any significant rests. I'm gonna keep plowing up and take a good rest at the top. Wow, what a climb. Outstanding. We are, for all intents and purposes, at the top of this gully. Once you reach the top here, it kind of starts to flatten out a little bit. But people, I was a little bit off in my prediction. I predicted 1,000 feet of elevation gain from there. We started out at 11,700. We are now at 13,200 feet. We just did 1,500 feet in, I don't know how long that is. Probably less than a mile. I'll check out when I get home. So we are well above the gully now. Right there's the Sawtooth. Again, if you look back on the video that I took of the hike from Bierstadt to Sawtooth, you can see the perspective of what it's like to stand there. And now we are just making our way across this tundra. We're at about 13,400 feet, so we got about 800 feet to go to summit. And about a mile. So not too bad. What?
burst, and it was this.
Oh no.
So give me just 1 second.
Boy, oh boy, we're having struggles today, peeps.
There's a lake in the bottom of this.
Did it burst because of the altitude?
I don't know.
That's weird, because that's never happened before.
I don't know. Something must have punctured it. So, okay. We're gonna wear this again. So we're going at the bottom to absorb all the crap. I'm so sorry.
So we go right alongside that lump there. Look at our view. There's Bierstadt, and there's Sawtooth. I'm almost as far as where I made it before I turned around last time. Almost. I made it right to the base of that thing and then I turned around. But today, we're gonna make it farther.
No chance we stop.
No way, Jose. Weather still looks great. Still see for miles and miles. Great to be here. There is Summit Lake with the Mount Evans Highway. Parking area. That is not the summit. We walk along this ridge for quite a ways before we reach the summit. There's a nice shot of Bierstadt and the traverse. We've officially made it.
Where? What is it? Dad, there's a mountain goat.
Well, let's find him. But what I was going to say is this.
There he is. Dad, he's right there.
Is he?
You're closer to him than I am.
Anyway, this is as far as I made it last time. And right now I'm going to get you a mountain goat. Maybe the mountain goat will get me if I don't be careful.
Oh, he's so ugly with his fur.
I don't want to surprise him. Do you hear me, sir?
He's looking the other way now. He was looking at us. Come this way.
Do I?
Come this way.
Oh, yes. Oh, look at you. Hi, mister.
Hell yeah, dog.
With Grays and Tories in the background. Man, can you beat that? We are at 14,000 feet.
This is my happy dance.
Amos and Lee and Rowan do a happy food dance. Leah does a happy 14,000 foot dance. Look at this view. It's fantastic.
Hey, Dad, it's better up here.
I think that's Abyss Lake down there. We are almost there. Almost to the summit. Mount Evans. I believe we go around this yet. And the summit is around this somewhere. That's where people seem to be going. And that's where my map says to go. So, not the summit. Go around it. Just follow the cairns. You can get off trail pretty easily. But But if you follow the cairns, you do just fine. Yeah, so the temptation going through this last section is, how did I get above the trail? Anyway, the temptation going through this last section is you want to go up. You feel like the summit is above you, but it's not. Just keep following the cairns. Keep following the cairns. So you're kind of traversing across here. So looking way back on Bierstadt now. You can't even see the sawtooth anymore. There's the valley out there where Fairplay is. So now you get a view as to why you don't go up there. You feel like if you go up, you'll get to the summit. But look what happens. It goes down, and there's your actual summit right there. So you would have to come down and regain elevation. So yeah, just stay down, stay on the trail, follow the cairns. The cairns are not lying. There's the observatory, there's the road, and there's our summit on the very left there.
See, but if we stayed high and just climbed the ridge, it'd be way more work. This is the smarter path.
This is definitely the way to go. You stay pretty flat through this last quarter mile or so.
I think you even go down. More than you go up, at least.
There is some down, which is annoying. But yeah, this is definitely the way to go.
In my mountain goat era. Okay, there's a cairn. I think we should start sending it.
Let's do it.
Come on.
We're not going to take the nature trail that the people who drive here take. We're going to send it, blaze our own trail to the summit. Yep. And Leah has summited Mount Evans. Yeah, a mixture of people who earned this and didn't. But that's okay. I'm feeling mighty fine about things. The dogs are out.
There are dogs and they are bad. Things gotta dry. Dad, that looks just as high as we are.
I know. Somebody decided that this was the summit.
Like, we should have just climbed that. We'd have been alone.
Yeah. Someone said this was the summit, but boy, we must be a little like a foot higher than that.
Or they could get a road up over here, so that's what they call this the summit.
That's right. Yes, finally, a new 14er summit, Mount Evans, 14,268, 14er number 24. Not much of a milestone, but it is my first new 14er of the year.
Good job, Dad.
Thank you. Good job to you too. Leah got her 5th 14er. That's awesome. Her first new 14er in a couple years, so.
My first hike in a couple years.
That's true. She did awesome. She works out a lot, and I could tell. So.
Look at all this junk food I brought for us.
Plenty of junk food. I'm gonna have some dynamitis here in a minute.
Yeah, you are.
I'm first gonna have my boiled eggs, because boiled eggs are good for me.
I found
And then I'm gonna wash them down with some dynamitis.
mine.
So, great to be on top of Mount Evans, even though you share it with some road travelers. Pikes Peak is gonna be the same way when I get that done. Shoot, I'm gonna climb Pikes Peak and have a cup of coffee at the top for Pete's sake. So, anyway, I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna enjoy this summit. Well, on our way down, we are now leaving the summit in Mount Evans. This is my first summit where I share it with tourists. And I gotta tell you,
You are not a fan.
it does something to you. It's a little irritating, but at the same time, kind of satisfying too, knowing that I climbed this bad boy and all these people did was walk a couple switchbacks from a parking lot. So, yeah, I can take solace in the fact that I climbed it and just have the satisfaction in that. Anyway, we're heading down. I hate leaving summits, but I'm really glad to have made it up Mount Evans. Weather update.
Getting cloudy.
This is looking to the south. Looking to the west, I think. Kind of to the northish. So things are developing. We might get sprinkled on after a bit, but so far so good. Making our way down, almost to the end of the ledges here. And then we'll get down a little bit quicker and make our way back down to the gully. So we just finished the areas by the ledges, and now we're descending towards the gully, which is straight ahead. Right there, there's our gully. Back over there. One thing to keep in mind when you're coming back down is keep your eye on the sawtooth. When you become about over here with the sawtooth, your gully is down here. You can get stuck following the path over to Spalding over there. You do not want to do that. So this trail started to veer a little bit eastward, I guess, if that's the right direction. You wanna, when just keep an eye on the sawtooth. You wanna start veering off to the left. So we're gonna break trail off to the left here and start heading towards the gully. And we are to the gully. The point of the major descent here begins right here. This is where we Well, no, this isn't the major descent. This is just the point of where the descent really starts. And then up there, actual gully action. So we are on course and doing well so far. No rain. We wouldn't want anybody getting hurt. Look at this, people at home. Red, white, and blue. There you have it. Yeah. This is no fun, people at home. This is harrowing, to say the least. Whoa. In some ways, it's easier going up this than down. Well, we're a little better than halfway down. So it feels like it should be more than that.
Yeah, it does.
But I'm just going by my altitude.
But
So,
I think we're gonna find a path here in a minute.
yeah. Once we get through this little section, it flattens out for just a little while and doesn't really flatten out, but kind of more of a path. And then it goes down for a while, and then we hit the bottom part there. That's our goal right there, the green flat stuff. And then we get to go play in the mud again. Woohoo! Hopefully we don't lose a shoe this time.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, it's a marmot. He came out right while I was videoing. Boy, that never happens. Hey, look, a shortcut.
Just jump.
Anyway, look how far we've come. Whew. Beautiful place.
We're almost to the prettiest part.
Oh, so wonderful. Yes, celebration. I almost fell there at a very easy step. We are so happy to be back down to flat ground. Oh. Here we go. Where those people are there. You can see those people. You gotta go up that hill a little bit. And it wraps around through the willows and the mud and eventually back to the car. Wow. Whew. It's pretty awesome to look back on where you've been. Walked that whole thing up and the whole thing down. Clouds look a little bit ominous. We might get rained on. All right. Now that we're down to flat areas with very little elevation gain and loss to deal with anymore, now it's all about getting back before the rain comes. Whew.
See the whole thing here.
I'm zoomed in as far as I can, people. There's two moose, bull moose, in the water, taking a bath, and just having a grand time. Look at that. This is as far as my phone can zoom. Wish I had my video camera from home. That is so cool.
It must be a pretty deep lake. Look at how far down they are.
Yeah, probably a good 6 feet. I don't think they're swimming. I think they're standing in there.
I don't even think it went down to like 10, that gotta be 10 feet.
Don't they stand about 6 feet tall? I don't know either.
I think they're bigger than that.
That is awesome. So we are back on the main Bierstadt Mount Bierstadt Trail, and ready to finish this off. A great climb. Everything went wonderful, and yeah, capping it off with the two bull moose taking a bath. Unbelievable. Hopefully I can zoom that in on the movie app so y'all can see that better, but wow, that's neat. Anyway, that'll do it for the Mount Evans summit hike. Thanks for watching. Take care.